Y'all, I don't know what Lance did to make Mother Nature so mad, but she mad. We are expecting a low of 1 degree. It's gonna be about 3 or 4 days in a row. Our lowest low is getting down to 1 degree. Our lowest high is around 14, could get up to 32, 14, 16, 32. So we are prepping the dairy for this winter storm.
So, the Mrs. Milkman is gonna go get a bale of straw so we can rebed them calf hutches before this beautiful weather we have getting ready to come in. So she's gonna take it, go up there and get a straw. We're gonna put it in our TMR mixer. Then we're gonna bed these stalls. The worst thing about it is Poppy's back. So now I'm not gonna get to drive the mixer and put straw out. I'm gonna have to actually use the pitchfork. I don't know, that's a demotion. And that's the face we get when she finds out that I actually have to do some work. She thinks it's funny.
Oh, baby. First things first, in preparing for this incoming weather, he is going and putting little heat lamps on the wells and getting straw for the hutches. So we're going to take care of our water, and we're taking care of our calves, and then we'll see what else is on the list from there. I'm gonna get the mixer turned on, get it going. Lance is on his way. I don't like doing this by myself because with the skid steer, you have to get it down at the very bottom of the bale to get it high enough to get over in the mixer. And I don't really want to do that by myself. So I'm just gonna get the mixer going and he should be here any minute. Okay. It's starting to. Oh, looks like it's pulling up over here. So between our heifers and the 40 that we bought a couple months ago, we have been calving like crazy. So this first quarter of the row have already been weaned. We now have the rest of this row. These have all been bedded to a certain point down here. We're gonna rebed anything that needs rebedding. And then we're gonna come up here. We have our new row started. We're gonna bed those as well because we have one hutch left on this row and we've got 6 new babies already that need to be moved to a hutch. All these hutches are bedded onto the empty ones, which will be easier because there's no panels in front of them. And look who shows up just in time. He always has the right timing. I don't know how he does it. Somehow he knows.
I'm trying to keep water wells from freezing up on these -1 degrees coming.
I'm trying to keep calves from freezing up.
Still ain't got to work.
I don't think it's going to be -1. It could be. There's still plenty of days for it to change, and it's Oklahoma. It always changes.
So, been working on the well, trying to get a light bulb hooked up so maybe we can get a heat lamp on it. The good thing is the Mrs. Milkman's got most of the hutches done. So I guess I better do maybe 1, maybe 2, get her done, and we'll call it quits. Y'all watching? We'll get the last one. Oh, looky there. I had to do all the work.
Did you break a sweat? You want to take the skid steer back?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put the grapple on it, pick up the rest of that straw he's got, put some in that one hutch.
Oh, okay.
Pin,
yeah.
then we're gonna carry some around putting it on.
Good idea. I forgot about the wing pin.
Well, I paid the big bucks.
That's why. That's why you're not paid -0. Yeah, I forgot about the wing pin. That's a great idea.
Hey.
Put some straw in the wing pin.
Sometimes I'm a smart man. Sometimes I'm not. You just don't know.
Sometimes you're a mechanic. Sometimes you're a dairy farmer.
Right now, I'm playing electrician.
Oh, that too.
Can't figure out what's going on.
You got 4 days to figure it out.
Well, it's a simple plug. My tester says it works, and when I hook the light to it, it don't work.
Oh, he's getting the grapple. I'm gonna grab some water. I meet him at the wing pin. So my father-in-law dumped the hay here. We're gonna open the gate. I'm just gonna use the grapple. We're gonna take some to the shed here, and then over here in this barn shed, is what I call it. We're gonna take some over there. We're gonna keep these babies toasty. Ladies and gentlemen, our timeline has moved up. We now have 1 day to finish preparing for this winter storm. We thought we still had a few extra hours because it originally wasn't going to come in till tomorrow night. It is now going to be here first thing in the morning. Lance says we're doomsday prepping. So we are going to finish up anything that we need to get done to prepare for this. We're going to be as prepared as possible. There's not a whole lot of preparing we can do for 1 degree. They're talking -20 wind chills. We'll see. We'll see if that sticks. Come on, Mama. This morning we're bringing in these fresh cows. Everyone always asks if we give colostrum to our calves, and we do. I've just never shown you how we get it. So what we do is we utilize our old 8 herringbone milk barn. We only have about 5 milkers on one side that are still hooked up that work. It is not hooked up to a milk tank in any way whatsoever, but we have milk jugs that we will connect to the milkers to catch their milk. And then we can store it for emergency. We give it to their babies for a few feedings before we switch them over to milk replacer. We typically run our first calf heifers through here to make sure they're clean, they're good to go before we send them up to the milk barn. We do have at least 1 cow up here because they've never been in a milk barn. So we use our old milk barn to break them, get them used to going into a barn and getting milked. And it's nice to have a cow so they can follow her in, learn how to go in. Sometimes it makes it easier. Come on, cow. Come on, cow. Come on, cow. Show them how to do it. Come on. Lance says they're called fresh cow buckets. I don't know. I call them a little milk tank. So we have this little Y here, or T, and yeah.
The reason why we had it wide into that bucket is we do have multiple buckets to catch multiple cows, but when we're just trying to catch just enough for a few days, so we have it on hand with this cold spell coming in, I'm probably going to have 6 or 7 babies for calves this weekend. They looked a little bit farther off than that, but all farmers know when cold comes in, the mamas lay down to have babies. So we'll have a little bit extra. But them are 2 good cows. One's a good cow, gonna give a lot of good colostrum. The other one's a pretty good heifer, giving a lot of decent colostrum. We'll put it in the same bucket so we don't have to have more to wash up. You know, the babies have been with them this morning, so they're probably pretty well sucked out. But we're trying to get a little bit caught up to be able to feed these calves. I've got one on the ground already that we just checked. We'll take it a bottle. Even though they're with their mama, oh no, we're getting ready to get pooped on. Even though they're with their mama, when it's cold like this, if we can get in there and give them that bottle first, give them a little bit more energy, and then maybe they'll get up and start nursing. You know, I think we're around 29, 30 degrees this morning. Calf's probably 30 minutes to an hour old. She's still working on it. Hasn't tried to get up yet, so we'll get a bottle in it next 10 or 15 minutes, a good warm colostrum. That calf will be up running circles in an hour then. So that's the reason why we try to give these calves, these babies, milk, especially when it's cold, as quick as we can.
So this here is the old receiver, but down at the ground over here, it is not connected to anything. So any milk that doesn't get caught just literally runs out on the ground and down the drain.
First, we're going to catch a second heifer.
Okay, I'm tired.
Yeah, we're going to tag her.
Okay. Second last. Up.
Turn it around.
See that?
We're going to catch the last one.
No, no. Better go open that gate back then.
Yeah.
She'll be out first. Alright. Come on over. Shh. Come on, Heifers. Up. Oh, don't you go through that gate. She turned. No, never mind. Yeah. We're going to tag these two heifers so that we can send them up to the milk barn. A lot of milk. They milk good. What we'll do to keep the barn clean, we'll come in here and fill this vat and run it through the barn to wash it.
We've calved out. I've re-tagged 30 head of heifers in the last 45 days that we've calved out. It's probably more like 38 heifers because there's a couple of, I got some heifers out of Kansas that had double yellow tags, and I'm not changing their ear tags. So I'd say 38 heifers, maybe 40 in the last 45 days. Probably got 40 more to go. If y'all go back to the previous video, the truck video, we bought 40, but we had a bunch of our own already here that they're all starting to calve in. So we break all of our fresh ones, all the heifers down here. I break them first to a herringbone. Anybody knows about a herringbone barn, they know how you kicked. When we go to our other dairy, to our new barn, that's a parallel, so now we have to retrain them up there, but at least they're broke for a milker and everything down here. Is that bottle for me?
Yes. For the new calf.
So I'm gonna go feed this new calf, see if I can't start getting it warm pretty quick. So it got some good mama milk. So
Yeah, so we'll bottle up our stash and put it in the freezer, and we'll have it, whether there's a winter storm or not, we have an emergency stash for any new babies. Right now we've got 9 bottle calves in here. They need to be moved to a nice warm hutch. So we'll be moving them today.
these are the heifers that came from the house that some of y'all said look poor. Like that one right there. She was a yellow tag that came from the house. She's put on 300 pounds and looks totally different.
Had me a little milk mishap. I forgot how full that tank was. Hit a rock just right. Have to wait till lunch to clean up. We got some diesel reserves for all our diesel heaters. So we're gonna take them up to the milk barn. All right, we've got 2 diesel heaters up here at the milk barn. And we're going to drag them out to the truck, top them off, and leave a reserve bucket with each one. Because we all know we're gonna need them.
These 2 heaters will be in the barn. Hopefully they'll, with these cold temps, I can keep everything, all the chemicals for the washing, and keep all them at least temperature above freezing. That's all I try to do. If I can keep it at 33 degrees in there, that's a win. I think our compressor room with our air compressors, cooling compressors, vacuum pumps to do the milking, they will, I'll put 1 heater in there. Really, when all that stuff's running and they're milking, you don't have to worry about that. That room will heat up in the winter time to 70 degrees in there. From about 11 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning, it gets pretty cold in there. So these will go on thermostats and they'll kick on and keep it warm in there. We burn the diesel. That's why we got the extra buckets. So if I'm low on diesel and 3 o'clock in the morning, I can put diesel in it. I don't have to have the truck to put anything in it. Well, airlines, I can't really do much to. Drain the compressors, get the moisture out of the compressors. Hopefully, airline, you know, when you got 1/4-inch airlines, little piece of ice will screw everything up in there. Nothing I can do, you know. Everybody said when we first built this barn, oh, put alcohol in there. Well, airline alcohol don't work when all the little valves get screwed up when you do it. Been there, done that. That costs a fortune to fix all the little air valves and everything. I will go to our backup air compressor and I will let it run all night long. Our big screw air compressor, I won't let it go all night. But I have just a regular shop air compressor in there for a backup. I'll let it go. That makes air move. Usually with air moving, the bigger lines don't freeze. I'll start my days probably around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be up here at least an hour, hour and a half before they get started. So I can try to make sure all airlines are going. That way it doesn't slow the milking process up. It doesn't affect the cows any. Kind of keep the cows on the same time frame. You know, I'll have to walk all the concrete lots, make sure there's no ice anywhere. If there's ice, I'll put sand on it or salt, depending on what I think it needs at the time. So they changed our forecast a little bit. We're still going to have the cold temps. The snow, they took us out of a foot of snow, 8 inches to a foot. I don't really remember what the last was. Now they're saying maybe more sleet in our area. I don't know. I think it's all bad. As long as the ice stays away. If the ice comes in, we're all in trouble then. Now we're going to start losing power. You know, we have generators, but nothing runs right when you're on a generator. We got this heater placed in this would be the chemical room. You know, it's kind of all opened up. We'll kind of stuff up some more insulation up here around the doors. And, you know, if I can keep this room above freezing, we're doing good. The other heater over here goes over here in the tank room. That's all the water lines come in there. The big thing is we did this a few years ago. Actually, 5 years ago on the 12th of February, we had a major snowstorm, ice storm, and it froze our main water line in here. And when it come loose after 3 or 4 days, the one water leak it sprung was right on the variable drive electrical unit. Fried that sucker. That all happened when we were having Steiger. So we were at the hospital, couldn't get nobody to milk, couldn't get guys here. Everybody didn't want to drive in it, but yet I have to drive over an hour away from the hospital with the baby in the NICU to get here to take care of everything. It was not a fun deal. So let's hope, I need 2 buckets in here. Let's hope we don't have anything like that. When they first started talking about this weather, that's kind of how it sounded it was going to be. But hopefully now after we went through that ordeal with this main water line going, we're very particular on making sure this room stays warm, because we thought it would never freeze before. We thought with the compressors and things running, cooling compressors, they would put enough heat in here, and it didn't. We learned our lesson, a very expensive lesson. I even got a shield I'll put over that variable drive, so if something does freeze and a water line does break when it's cold, it will, hopefully, we've got it shielded. I guess we'll just see how this goes. If we get what they're saying, y'all ain't gonna see me on the YouTube. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I ain't gonna be in a very good mood. I don't do cold weather. So that right there ought to keep it 4 or 5 degrees cooler and warmer in here. If we don't get a big south wind, this side's pretty good. We get a 80-mile-an-hour wind, we're all in trouble. But it's like y'all seen in the past. We're not set up for cold weather. We do good down to about 20 degrees. 350 days a year, we don't have to worry about anything. Hopefully it doesn't last very long. Local weather thinks we're going to be in it for 15 days below freezing. If we are, I'll be in Griffin Memorial Mental Institution because I will lose my mind. You know, that's why our whole dairy back barns open up. we got more hot days than we do cold days, and we want that airflow coming in here for cow comfort. You know, we don't have tarps on our barn, freestall barn, cost efficient, don't really need it. Be nice to have it. So now we're gonna go out there and I'm gonna hook up a water hose to run outside the barn. So if it drips water all night long, I can get it dripping outside and not on the concrete. There's usually enough cow manure, we don't have to worry about them falling, but when we go in there to clean it, you can't get underneath the ice. It's miserable. We don't get much water out of that, do I?
No, so it's trickling.
Oh, duh. Okay, so the cold weather's already hit me.
It's got to your brain already.
I put this on here. I'm gonna hook this water hose up. And I'm gonna drip it pretty good, but I want it to drip outside the barn. That way I can keep this water faucet, this tank going. I do have a heater I will put in here. If the cows don't drink of it quick enough, it fills up with water, shuts off, it'll freeze my line up. This way I can keep it dribbling out the barn. It makes the mess out there, not on the concrete. That way we don't have this slick as ice, because if not, we'll have ice built up to about here for about 10 feet down here. This will be slicker than snot. I've got 3 water tanks in here. My goal is to keep one of them going all the time. I can turn the cows out for water, but at nighttime these cows are in here. This pen has probably got 65 or 70 fresh ones in the last 45 days, 60 days, where they're starting to come to that milk. Well, if they ain't gonna get water, they ain't gonna come to that milk, and it's gonna set us back. If I can keep one tank, at least it'll run all the time. I can keep water to everything.
Uh-oh.
Go find a new one. That's an old water hose, so get it warm on that end, it'll start expanding. Right, push that down on there. Okay. So I'll turn this water on and let it run about a matchstick out here. The water will run down there. Hopefully it'll keep water moving and it won't let me put a bunch of ice out here. I'm gonna have some ice because this tank will leak some, but it is what it is. I can regulate my automatic water in here to where it won't fill up too fast, but there'll always be water in here for the cows to drink. My center water tank down here, it's just like this. It's on the north side. I promise you that thing will freeze at 34 degrees. That water tank will freeze out. I can't tell you the reason why. I don't know how it does it, but it freezes so daggum easy, it'll about drive you up the wall. So this was our flush tank water, and I knew I had water in it. I need to get it drained. Let it drain all the way out, keep that from freezing busted. Because we're in 4 degrees, we're in danger territory. I forgot before, didn't drain that tank. Air compressor shut off, and we dumped a bunch of water, and it's skating rink. We goofed. It was 100% mistake on our part. I thought he dumped it. He thought I dumped it. Nobody checked it. I'm thinking this center tank may be leaking a little bit down here. If the water tank freezes, it's not going to be dire. I just got to keep water flowing to make sure it don't break no pipes. So I'll bring my trusty old ink pens back to put in my waterers. Some people do the fancy things. They got the freeze misters and meisters and all that. Well, I can go buy a package of big ink pens and stick in there, and it's only going to cost me for like 20 of them, like $3 or $4. Just throw the ink away and stick the plastic thing as a straw. It works perfect. Then you can adjust your flow. You're going to make a mess anyways. So that way it drifts through the automatic waterer, just like that freeze meister. I mean, I'm not dogging them. I just don't see any. They're like 30-something bucks a piece, and I'd have $500 in them things.